Hi, I'm Allison. I'm so glad you're here. If you're dealing with depression, anxiety, ADHD, addiction, perfectionism, you're in the right place. And let's be honest, who is not? This is the first video for you to watch in this series. And when you watch the videos and do the worksheets provided, you will see much better, faster results than with only doing the one-on-one coaching with me alone. So I want to introduce you to what I call the model. The model is something we will talk a lot about in coaching, and this is for a reason. The model will show you how you are responsible for all the actions and results in your life, okay? Many times we think other people or situations in life are responsible for the way we feel. For example, I'm sad because she didn't include me in the group. Or we think other people or situations are responsible for the way we act. For example, I yelled at her because she was yelling at me and that was making me mad, okay? So when you learn about the model, you will learn how you have responsibility over everything you do, everything you feel, and all the results you have in your life. It's very interesting work, okay? So why would you want that? Why would you want to be responsible for all of that? Because it feels so good. It feels so good not to blame other people for the way you feel or act, because when you blame other people for the way you feel or act, you're at their mercy. They have all the power and control over you and your life. Why would you want that? Wouldn't you rather decide what you want to feel and feel it on purpose? Decide how you want to show up in the world and do that with intention. When you do this work, you can have total control over how you think, feel, and behave, and ultimately all the results you have in your life, regardless of the circumstances in your life. Are you interested? Okay, stay with me. Now think of something, anything that happened recently or in the past that created a strong feeling for you. I want you to name that feeling. Now try to limit that feeling to just one word. Not a whole sentence or a paragraph of words, but just one word. For example, brave, strong, afraid, stressed, lonely. This is really going to help your brain figure out what is going on if you can identify and simplify the feeling into a one-word answer. You probably have a story in your mind about this feeling that you had. The story is going to sound like a bunch of facts and thoughts mixed together. Okay, this is the example I came up with, and it's an actual real world example, not in my world, but it is a story that I heard. This is not about my mother-in-law because I absolutely love my mother-in-law. Okay, so this is the story. A client came and said, "My mother-in-law is sabotaging my diet. She wants me to be fat. She invited us over for dinner for my husband's birthday, and she made us spaghetti. She knows I'm trying to lose weight, and yet she makes this huge carb bomb for dinner. I just don't even want to go over there anymore. The worst part is my husband doesn't even see it, and he's totally on her side." With that story in mind, the client feels anger, betrayal, frustration. Okay, what would you feel if those were the thoughts in your head about your mother-in-law and about her having you over for dinner? Probably something similar. Okay, so for this client, let's simplify it. We're going to pick anger. What would this person most likely do or not do when she's feeling anger? What would you do? Think about it. What would you do if you're feeling anger? Maybe she would yell at the mother-in-law, or maybe she wouldn't talk to her at all, or maybe she would talk but not make eye contact and not really open up. Okay, she's probably talking badly about her mother-in-law, maybe to her friends, definitely to her husband, forcing him to choose sides. Basically, her result from this situation is she's preventing herself from showing up as the person she wants to be. And she thinks it's because the mother-in-law invited her over for spaghetti. And it's simply not true. The reason she's acting this way is from a feeling she's having of anger. Actions always come from feelings that we have. That's why feelings are so important, and we talk about them all the time. When you come to coach with me, we're always going to talk about feelings, okay? She has that feeling because of a thought she had. Our feelings always come from thoughts that we have. For this, We're going to separate out the thoughts from the facts, okay? So what are the facts of the story that I just gave you? Here's a fact. The mother-in-law invited them over to eat. Here's another fact. She served spaghetti. And another fact, it was her husband's birthday. Here's a thought. She is sabotaging my diet. Another thought, she wants me to be fat. And another thought, my husband is on her side. Facts are neutral. There's no question about them. They just exist and everyone in the whole world could agree on them. Okay? Thoughts are everything else. If everyone in the entire world could not agree on it, it is a thought, not a fact. This is what we do a lot of in coaching, okay? Because our beliefs are a collection of thoughts we accumulate over time. So we believe them. We believe them as though they're true, as though they're facts. We can have these beliefs about ourselves, about money, about losing weight, about politics. They feel so true. My job as a coach is to show you that most things you have in your brain are thoughts, which is at the core of what I love about coaching, because we can change our thoughts if we want to. And I'll teach you how to do this in our next tutorial video. So let's go with one fact and one thought. Fact, my mother-in-law served spaghetti. Everyone in the world could agree on that. Thought, she is sabotaging my diet. Not everyone in the world could agree on that. So that is a thought. How do we know her feeling? Remember, her feeling is anger. How do we know that's coming from her thought and not from what the mother-in-law served for dinner? Because there are so many other thoughts she could have about the mother-in-law serving spaghetti other than she's sabotaging my diet. So what else could she be thinking? What about, that's so nice of her to make us dinner? That would create a feeling of maybe love. Or, spaghetti is my husband's favorite meal. How thoughtful of her. That might create a feeling of gratitude. Or she could think, I hate spaghetti. It's the worst. Maybe she's disgusted, and that's her feeling. Or I can't believe she's serving spaghetti again. Maybe that's annoyance. Okay? But this feeling, the thought that she's having, she's sabotaging my diet, that's what's creating the anger. All of these thought-feeling combinations would lead to different actions in her life. So think about what you would do if you're feeling love versus feeling annoyance. What would you do if you're feeling disgust versus anger? It's very different. Now, this might seem like a trivial thing for some of you, mother-in-laws and spaghetti, but I want you to think about how situations like this have shown up in your life. How did you handle them? Think of the ones you regret or handled poorly. Why? What was it about you in that moment that you didn't like about yourself? So when you come to your coaching sessions with me, I'll be helping you find your thoughts that are causing the problem. Hint, it's always your thoughts causing the problem. I know it sounds hard to believe because we want to blame the news, our mother, our boss, our teacher. We're just so used to that. It's like in our programming. But it's always your thoughts that create a feeling. And you always take action because of a feeling you have or a feeling you don't want to have. Those actions, all the accumulation of all your actions is what creates your life. The results you have in your life, what you do, what you weigh, how much you make, how you treat others. This is great news because you see that you can have control over all of it. No matter your situation, the people in your life, you can choose what you want to think, feel, and do. This is the best feeling. So as always, if you have any questions, write them down, bring them to your next session with me. You can always text or email me. I am always here to talk about it. Have a lovely day and take care.